recording you? I'm sitting in my car holding my phone.
To record me.
What is the law?
I'm a lawyer and I know what the law is.
Who's going to come out on top when justice is on the line? And what happens when the ones in the hot seat are the very people meant to enforce the law? In this round of lawyers versus cops, the tension is cranked up, the drama is dialed to max, and the showdowns are more intense than ever. This time, the lawyers are sharper, the cases are twistier, and the stakes are off the charts. Get ready to watch these legal eagles soar as they take on the system, pushing every boundary and redefining what it means to fight for justice. Buckle up, this is going to be one heck of a wild legal ride. Our first case, dated February 20th, 2010, is perfectly set for a high-stakes showdown that pits sharp legal minds against the very forces sworn to uphold the law. Our key players, Sergeant Joseph Blakely and a Ben Salem police officer. The stage, an unusual location, Philadelphia Gun Club, where a live pigeon shoot, likely an illegal act, was the main event. Now, if you think these officers were there to enforce the law, think again. Instead, their actions will leave you shocked, particularly in their treatment of an attorney named Marianne Bessie and her companion Valerie Torino. Curious about what happens next? Well, keep watching as we unravel the entire case.
So we would appreciate it if you would leave. You are on private property. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have the audio on those cameras?
Yes.
Okay, would you mind turning the audio off?
No, I don't need to.
Okay.
Do I have to repeat what I just said?
Well, I think this is public access here.
Well, you're on private property and you're past
I think it's public. Well, I think this is public access.
Miss, it is a safety.
You understand you have every right to protest, but you can't be on their property without their consent.
Okay.
You can be on public property, you can be on the roadway where it does not impede traffic, but they have the right to ask you to leave the property.
Okay.
As the video reveals, the two women were accused of trespassing on private property, but as they documented the officer's misconduct, things took an unexpected turn. The officer demanded them to stop recording, especially the audio, assuming their authority would compel compliance. But here's the twist. Marianne Bessie is no ordinary citizen. She's a lawyer, well versed in the law, making it impossible to deceive her. To highlight the officer's overreach, let's consider the property he claimed was private. In reality, it was accessible to the public. Watch how the sharp attorney quickly shifts the tide.
According to Pennsylvania law, specifically Title 18, Section 3503, trespassing only occurs if a person knowingly enters or remains on private property without permission.
There is public access along here, so it goes to, a certain point. So I think we're within that point.
You are understanding that you're creating a safety hazard here.
No, I don't think we are.
Well, I am telling you that you are.
Well, what basis do you have for that? Because I'm telling you we're not.
You're in the roadway right now creating a safety hazard.
Well, so are you.
People will come in.
So are the police officers.
You're here, I have to be here.
Well, I think we're standing by the side of the road. We were not in the road. We were always within the public access area.
Do you know exactly where your property limits are? And we'll ask them to stay outside that.
Technically, we are responsible up to the roadway.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you to turn the audio and the cameras off because it's illegal in Pennsylvania.
It's not illegal.
Yes,
Okay.
It is, miss.
I'm sorry. It's not illegal.
Ma'am, you can videotape me, but I'm asking you not to audio tape without my consent. Can
Okay.
you please do that?
Well, I understand what you're saying. I do.
When Marianne proved that they were standing on public land, the officers stood in confusion, which led them to shift their accusation to, "You are creating a safety hazard." Now, how can a citizen standing by the roadside be a threat just by recording? Undeterred, the officers insisted they stop recording audio, citing a law. But does the law support this claim? Let's dig deeper.
It's the Pennsylvania Wiretap Law, Title 18, Section 5703. The law allows for audio recording in public spaces where there is no reasonable expectation of privacy.
According to Pennsylvania's statutes, Title 18, Section 5703, it is illegal to intercept any wire, electronic, or oral communication without consent. But this law doesn't apply to public recording in this context, indicating either the officer's ignorance or a deliberate attempt to mislead. Let's now take a look at how the attorney confronts this misleading tactic with unwavering confidence.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
Audio, it's just video.
Okay, there's no audio?
No.
There is audio on mine, and I'm a lawyer, and I know what the law is.
So you know about
I'll take the
wiretap
risk. You
laws,
can
is that
take me to
correct?
court.
Is that, you know about the
I do.
wiretap laws?
Okay, well, I'm not going to get into that here. Do you have identification, please?
I don't on me, no.
You don't have an
No,
identification?
I don't have identification on me, no.
Okay, you have no idea.
On me, no.
Okay, can I have your name, address,
Sure.
and birthday, please?
What do you need it for? Am I going to be arrested?
When we get a call, we need to take a police report that we get a call.
Okay.
That's all.
What do you need my ID for? Why do you need my name?
We're here on a police call. We're having contact with you, and we're going to identify you and name you on our police report. That's what we do.
Okay, well, I'd rather not give you my name.
Okay. Why would that be?
Because I don't think I'm doing anything illegal. I don't think I'm under suspicion of anything.
Okay. Well,
Why do I need my name?
You just told me that you're audio taping us, and I asked you not to do that under Pennsylvania wiretap laws.
Okay.
Okay. She told me she's not audio taping. Audio taping. I have no problem with that. I'm asking you to do the same thing.
Okay, can we get a supervisor here? Because
I am one. That's
Okay,
why I'm here.
how about you? Above you?
That's not possible right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna take me into custody because of suspicion of violation of the wiretap?
Notice how the officer, now visibly agitated, demands identification. His approach reeks of false legal claims and abuse of power. According to Pennsylvania statutes, Title 18, Section 4912, it's a criminal offense to induce someone to act based on a false representation of authority.
Title 18, Section 4912 of the Pennsylvania Crimes Code defines intimidation of witnesses or victims, which includes using authority to dissuade individuals from exercising their legal rights.
Despite the officer's pressure, the attorney stands her ground, fully aware that she's done nothing illegal. She refuses to share her identity, knowing the law is on her side. But for the officer, the mere act of audio recording without his consent is grounds for suspicion.
Did I ever say that? I asked for
Well,
your
you asked for
name.
my ID, so I'm under suspicion for something, and you said the wiretap law. So what? Okay. But you said the reason that you wanted my name and not hers was because of the wiretap law.
fill out a police report.
And Val, please
Okay.
keep videotaping the people who come in.
Okay, you asked why we need your name and
Yeah.
your information. Did I
Right.
ever say that I'm going to take you into custody?
Well, you said that you needed it for the wiretap law. You said you think I'm in violation of the wiretap law, so I'm assuming that you're going to do something about that. That's why you need my name.
But I never said I was taking you into custody.
Okay, well then I don't think I need to give you my name.
Every police call that we go on, we identify who we talk to, who called the police, who we're talking to,
Well,
and they go in the police report.
Unless I'm under suspicion for something, I don't think I'm required to give you my name. I don't think I am. If you say I'm under suspicion for violation of the federal wiretap law or the Pennsylvania wiretap law, that's why you need my name, I'll give you my name.
I kindly asked you to stop audio taping. That's all I did.
Okay, you did.
Okay.
Yeah, and I said that I understand I'm a lawyer,
Okay.
well versed in the law. I've prosecuted cases under the federal and the Pennsylvania state wiretapping law. I know that this is
Okay.
legal.
Okay.
So, you're telling me you don't think it is, and you want my name to fill out in your report because you think I'm violating the wiretapping law. That doesn't make sense to me. Because if you think I'm
Okay.
violation of a crime, wouldn't you want to take me into custody and get all my information?
I never said that.
Okay, well then I'm not in violation of a crime?
I asked you to stop audio taping.
Right.
I said in Pennsylvania we have wiretapping laws. It's
Right.
not legal to audio tape someone without their consent. You refused. I asked you for your information. I never said anything about taking you into custody.
Okay. Well, I don't think I'm violating.
Okay.
This is public property. This is
Okay.
public access.
Well, I don't know that you're on public property right now.
Well, I know that we are. I looked into it. We've done this before. We've been here many, many weeks. We stand in the public access area.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Do you know for a fact that right now you're on public property?
well, because we stood, now I think we're in the driveway because we're talking to you. But where we were standing,
If you're not sure either, how could you say that we're in violation?
I don't.
Again, the debate shifts back to whether they're on public or private property. Shouldn't this be something the officers are clear about? The lawyer challenges him to verify, but his response reveals his bias and failure to uphold the law impartially.
No, I do
Well,
not.
then,
Right,
if
then
no
why
one
are you-
knows, then somebody needs to find out, and it probably would be more of your responsibility being you're in the law.
They could sue.
Okay, here's what we're
Hi.
gonna do.
Okay.
We cannot have you stand in the driveway here
Okay.
on this side of State Road where this is plowed because they've maintained it and they don't want you in the driveway.
Okay.
If you want to stand on the other side of these snowbanks, you can do that, okay? We're going to find out through the township exactly where their property line is, but for right now, we're going to ask you not to impede their traffic and not to stand in this driveway. If you want to stand on the other side of State Road, I can't tell you to stand on someone's private property. If you want to stand anywhere that's public property, you can do that. We don't know exactly how far their private property goes to State Road or what's considered public access because there is no sidewalk here under the snow. But what they're asking is you don't stand on this plowed driveway and you stand on the other side of these snowbanks.
Okay.
Meaning, what was that?
Okay.
Okay, let me finish. What will happen if we don't move?
If this is private property and you don't move, you could be cited for trespassing.
I'm asking you, what will happen now today if we don't
Right this
move
second.
right now?
Not
If you don't move-
before
Yeah.
you find out what.
Yeah, like right now you're taking his word for it and maintain, and your understanding of law is that because they maintain this driveway, we have to go, certain
What-
distance from it, from the snow. I'm asking you, what will you do if we don't move?
I will go to the township. I will find out exactly where their legal property line is, and if law enforcement action has to be taken or citations have to be issued, that'll be done.
The officers' actions clearly showcase their skewered judgment and disregard for the very laws they are sworn to enforce. This incident serves as a powerful reminder that the law is not just a tool for those in uniform, but a shield for every citizen, guarding against overreach and ensuring justice. In a world where power can be so easily corrupted, it's individuals like Marianne who keep the scales balanced, showing us all that no one is above the law. Moving on, as we are covering instances when corrupt police officers try to take advantage of citizens under the guise of law enforcement, let's see what happens when the citizen turns out to be a lawyer. You can expect him to be a walking encyclopedia of legal knowledge. In our next case, we find a lawyer who unexpectedly steps into his part-time role, one that will surprise you. Ready for it? In addition to practicing law, he also works part-time as an Uber driver. But what led to a confrontation with the police? The officers detained his passenger, but why? Well, let's find out.
Recording you? I'm sitting in my car holding my phone.
Record me.
What is the law? What are you arresting me for? I'm sitting here in my car. I'm just recording in case anything happens. I'm surrounded by 5 police officers.
You're being a jerk.
I'm scared right now. I'm not being a jerk. I'm recording it in case anything happens.
Under the First Amendment, citizens are granted the right to record public officials, including police officers, in the course of their public duties.
Recording is a right protected by the First Amendment, and as long as the officers are acting within the law, they can't prevent him from recording. It seems they detained the passenger due to a desire to search the car, but the question is, was this lawful? The situation compelled him to reveal his true identity as an attorney, catching the officers by surprise.
Hope we don't find something in your car, okay?
They're not searching my car
Well, I'm going to
because
search your car.
you're not searching my car.
72 kid, roll canine this way, please.
Bring the canines. I don't care, man.
Okay.
Okay. I know my rights.
Hey, I hope so. I know what the law is.
I know the law. I'm an attorney, so I would hope I know the law.
And an Uber driver?
And here, man.
And an Uber driver.
You want my bar card?
The Fourth Amendment clearly states the right of the people to be as secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
As an attorney, he knew the Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable searches and seizures, requiring any search to be based on probable cause and, in many cases, supported by a warrant.
This was why he was correct in asserting his rights. The officers even threatened to use a canine unit, a police dog, without any probable cause, further demonstrating their overreach. Notice the lawyer's sarcastic curiosity as he inquires about this new law with one of the officers.
Sir, can you tell me what this new law is that I'm not allowed to record?
I'm sorry?
He said that there's a law I'm not allowed to record the police. I just wanted to know what that new law is.
Well, you said you were an attorney, correct?
I am. I've never heard of this law that you're not allowed to record the police anymore. It must be brand new.
Okay, well, they just recently passed it, so.
Like super recently? Seems like a strange law. Man. I showed him my way bill. I really am just driving Uber for some extra money. I don't know where these people are going to and from.
Really about 80. Are these his?
You from the area?
Probably, they're not mine.
I do
I have nothing in my car. There's no drugs. There's no alcohol.
I didn't say you did.
Well, the other officer told me he's taking me to jail. Next thing I know, I'm surrounded by police.
Are you from the area here? You live here in Wilmington?
Yeah, I live here. I work at the courthouse.
The man was simply an innocent Uber driver working extra hours to make ends meet. As the officers realized he was a knowledgeable attorney, their tone noticeably changed.
How long have you been an Uber driver?
Mr. St. Pierre, a year and a half, 2 years maybe?
Have you been stopped a lot? It's probably why you've been stopped, because you're an Uber driver, right? Because there's a lot of history on the vehicle.
On this vehicle there's history?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Okay, all right. Well, here's your license. We're going to wait for K9 because I don't know if he might have dumped something under the seat and you don't want us to look. So we're just going to have K9 come out and smell. And if they do an indication, if not, then you'll be on your way, okay, sir?
Okay. I mean, if he threw something under the seat, it still has nothing to do with me. Like.
Okay, but it's in your car. I'm not saying it has anything to do with you, sir. I've never said that, did I?
No, I feel like
question.
someone's going to be under the car and you're going to say, I'm the driver, it's my vehicle, I'm responsible.
Negative, sir. I've never said that to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Can you understand my frustration? I'm just at work.
I should. I absolutely do.
All right.
Where's your registration? Just hold on a minute, okay?
Thanks, man.
All right.
This case highlights how officers can misuse their power against those who are less informed, subjecting them to unwarranted searches, delays, and baseless accusations. It underscores the critical importance of knowing your rights as guaranteed by law. Next, we have what appears to be a sincere cop dutifully performing his job. But what exactly went wrong, causing him to make his way onto our list of questionable actions? Well, let's find out.
Hey, brother.
Hi, how are you?
How long ago did you get in a crash?
Like a year?
Okay. The reason I pulled you, you can't have white light emitting back.
What do you mean?
Your tag lights, they're supposed to illuminate your tag. Those two white lights, all they're doing is shooting straight back. You can't have any white light limiting them back.
At the beginning of the encounter, the officer pulls a man over, citing him for having white lights emitting from the back of his vehicle. Technically, the cop was correct in his assertion, as Florida law clearly states that the tag lights are used only for the purpose of illuminating the tag.
State of Florida, the tag lights are used only for the purpose of illuminating the tag, and it's considered a traffic violation if they were instead shooting white light.
But hold on, if you're starting to think this cop is just doing his job, you might want to reconsider after seeing what happens next.
Concealed weapons holder, any weapons in the vehicle I need to be aware of? Nope, nothing illegal in the car. Alright, so after I'm done, if I ask to search the vehicle to verify what you're saying is true, you don't mind?
I do mind, but it might be because I'm a lawyer.
Okay. So you know what consented, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So you have nothing in the vehicle?
I have absolutely nothing in the vehicle.
Okay. And you don't mind confirming that by allowing us to look and make sure there's nothing in the vehicle? As you can imagine, we hear no all the time as they have nothing and we find stuff.
I'd rather not search me.
Okay, cool. Just hang tight, brother.
The situation takes a turn when the officer begins overstepping his authority. Without any warrant, he suspects that the man might be carrying an illegal weapon in his car. The real twist comes when the driver reveals that he is in fact a lawyer. Naturally, he knows his right and the law. Upon hearing this, the cop's demeanor shifts. He tries to downplay his previous assertiveness, now suggesting in a more friendly manner, I am friendly enough to search the car.
Officers need to have a probable cause in order to search the car, which the cop didn't have, so he attempted to manipulate the lawyer and get his consent.
However, this attempt to smooth things over does not work. The lawyer firmly refuses to let his car be searched. According to the law, police officers need probable cause to search a vehicle, something the officer clearly didn't have in this case. With no way to manipulate the situation further, what does the officer do next?
All right, Nicholas. So one, you got to get that fixed, those white lights in the back. Okay? If you keep getting pulled like that, you're going to get tickets non-stop.
I'll get it.
You understand that? That border? Take that border off. Understand that?
When we get home. Okay.
Fix that address. Just giving you a warning for it. Appreciate it, brother.
The officer realizes he's not getting his way with this lawyer, so he sends him on his way, and things end.
He ends the encounter by letting the lawyer go with a warning. Fix those lights or risk getting ticketed every time. Many people who are detained by officers in similar situations become nervous and are tricked into giving up their rights. However, it's important to understand that just as you have the right to remain silent, you also have the right to refuse when you know the law is on your side. In this instance, the lawyer made the right choice in how he dealt with the officer. Would you have done the same? Now, let's move on to the next case. In this intense case, tensions rise as a district attorney fiercely defends his rights against an increasingly aggressive group of police officers. But what sparked this dramatic confrontation? Well, let's dive into the details.
How's it going, man? You live over here, or what's we doing over here? I've had a couple people call in on you.
Something illegal?
Well, no, they're just calling on you saying that I don't recognize a truck in the area. So, my duty to check and see if you live over here or what's going on.
Live over here. For a purpose.
Okay. All right. You working? You see you got a ladder in the back. You working somewhere?
It all began when the attorney was simply waiting for someone, an act that, by itself, is completely legal, as long as it doesn't disturb anyone, and it didn't. So, why did the officers demand his ID?
You got a driver's license on you, just so I can identify you?
Have I done something illegal?
Well, I like to identify you, just know who I'm dealing with, make sure.
What's been right now? Show it.
Well, if I'm making contact with you for a reasonable suspicion call like I am right now.
Being suspicious is a misdemeanor and felony.
I don't know if you belong over here. You said you don't, so I don't know if someone over here's got a beep bill or something against you, and if you got your ID
Did
or
I
something.
say I didn't belong over here?
You said you had purpose.
I don't live over here.
Okay.
Okay. I do belong
Okay.
here.
All right.
So that's as far as I'm willing to take it.
So you're not willing to give me your ID?
I don't have any reason.
It's unlawful to demand identification from someone who has done nothing wrong. The attorney had just parked his truck without violating any traffic laws, and he was well within his rights to refuse to show his ID.
So if you're not from here, I'm not sure if you are or not, because I don't know who you are. Okay.
My plate's right back there. I'm sure you can run it.
Yeah. Okay. So is that how you want me to identify you, through your plate?
If that's what you have.
Are you the owner of the vehicle?
Do you suspect that I'm not?
I have no reason to believe you are.
I'm sitting in the truck, in the house, waiting.
For what?
Keys right here.
Okay.
That's none of your business.
It is my business.
No, it's not. Why is it your business?
Because I want to make sure you're not going to break into these houses or anything like that.
Do I look like
I don't know. You have a ladder.
That's your information you have.
You have a ladder.
You already ran my plates.
They
gave you the information that you needed. You can ask them to go ahead and run me through NCIC or...
Do you have a date of birth then? Because I have to run it with a name and date of birth.
I'm not going to answer that question.
So you're telling me how I should do my job, yet you're not allowing me to do my job.
I'm standing up for my rights.
And I understand that, like I said.
I haven't done
but
anything wrong.
I'm doing my job,
Okay,
conducting an investigation.
I haven't committed a crime. I'm sitting here in front of a house, which is perfectly legal.
Well, you're not completely on the roadway there, sir.
Okay, has anybody asked me to move?
Do they have to ask you to move if it's private property?
Okay, but there's also a public easement right here.
Oh, it's a public, because this is the city of Blanchard Road, so it's a public easement?
No, the side of the road.
Oh, because this is the city of Blanchard Road, so therefore make a city easement of a city road, right?
What are you trying to accomplish?
What I'm trying to, all I want to do, sir, is identify you.
The situation escalated as the conversation became increasingly absurd. The police, growing impatient, began pressing harder, desperate to obtain his identification by any means necessary. They asked for his name, date of birth, anything they could use. But the attorney stood firm, refusing to provide any information, and asserting his rights with unwavering confidence. By this point, it was clear that the officer was simply looking for any excuse to charge him.
I haven't done anything illegal.
Okay.
You understand that by not identifying yourself appropriately as requested by the officer is illegal.
Okay. Obstruction.
That's a secondary charge. Okay, I have to be, for you to ID me in the state of Oklahoma, okay, I have to be suspected of committing a crime, about to commit a crime.
Well, you're already you're trespassing.
Somebody has called in that you're suspicious. Shut up. Somebody has called in.
You don't tell me to shut up.
I'll tell you what I want to tell you.
Okay, you're not going to tell me to shut up.
Somebody called us in. I don't care how old you are.
You're not going to sit there and tell me.
In a bid to resolve the standoff, one officer, eager to extricate himself from this escalating situation, called for backup. Another attorney. What happened next was both surprising and telling.
Nothing. Sorry to bother you. I got a random question for you, though. I'm dealing with something right now. Yeah. So I got called out to an address for a suspicious vehicle, and gentleman's parked in a black pickup. He's from Oklahoma City, but he won't give me his name and tells me he doesn't have to give me his driver's license because he's not done anything wrong.
Driving a vehicle?
Well, he's parked right now.
Well, technically, there's no obligation for him to identify himself. I mean, unless you've got reasonable suspicion that he's crime. There's no compelled ID statute in Oklahoma. I have to think about. I mean, do you have anything else to suggest that he might be involved in something illicit?
He asked if he was free to leave, and I said, no, at this time. I have my emergency equipment activated, and I'm trying to investigate.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're going to drive away, absolutely. But you can drive it and he's operating a motor vehicle, but you don't have a traffic violation.
Well, I follow him out of town until I get one.
This was the moment when the police received confirmation that the attorney was completely within his rights to refuse their demands. But did they let him go? No. Instead, the situation took a turn for the worse as the chief of police entered the scene.
He hasn't violated really a crime yet, so
Are you investigating a crime? Or possible crime?
Possibly.
Okay, he's obstructing an officer from doing his duty, right?
Okay.
The officers have a legal right to make contact with you based on call. If you're obstructing that, I'm not here to listen to you. I'm here to tell you what's going on. Okay? I don't care if you record me. Okay?
We've all got cameras
I don't
on. This isn't
care.
a problem.
Okay, you're obstructing an officer from doing his duty. So now you're under arrest. Unless you want to cooperate. Okay? That's the way it goes. Have a nice day.
Look, all I'm trying to do, man, if you're PI, no big deal. We'll get out of here. We gotta confirm who you are, make sure.
Okay, but I mean, why do I have to answer questions? I'm here for a legal
They're
reason.
here doing an investigation and you're obstructing.
I'm not. I'm just not answering questions.
Can I get your date of birth?
You're failing to identify yourself.
By law.
You are
It's a
failing.
Fifth Amendment right.
You are failing to identify yourself.
Questions.
Put him in handcuffs.
What law have I done?
Turn around, turn right back for a second. You need place investigative detention, okay?
You want to go talk to that neighbor right there? He has the garage door to let me into the house so I can get a photograph of the inside of that garage door.
That's all you had to say from the beginning, man.
I don't have to tell you that. Don't you guys understand what my rights are?
Nobody said you have to tell us that. What we said is that you have to identify yourself. You do have to identify yourself. Trespassing. That's number one.
Okay, sir.
To be transparent,
Peeping Tom for all we know. Okay, for all we know. That's right, and in doing that, we have to identify you.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we do.
No. You can ask for my identification. I am not legally required to give it to you.
Except that you are.
The tension reached its peak when the attorney was placed in handcuffs under the pretext of arrest. Surrounded by officers, he was repeatedly and forcefully compelled to identify himself. It was an incredibly challenging situation, but the attorney continued to fight valiantly for his rights. However, there's a silver lining. He was eventually released from the cuffs because the officers couldn't find any grounds to charge him with a crime. This was a significant victory, showing that this clear understanding of his rights was the key to his eventual freedom.
Shortly after this, the lawyer was released and no charges were brought against him. It is only because of his clear knowledge of his rights that he was able to get out of this position without being arrested.
These encounters serve as a powerful lesson in the importance of staying calm, confident, and informed when dealing with law enforcement. They also raise critical questions about the balance of power and the potential for overreach, reminding us that knowing the law is essential to protecting our freedoms. But the real question is, in a similar situation, would you be prepared to stand up for your rights? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life legal battles. Stay informed, stay empowered, and remember, justice is everyone's right.